there. Oh, we're open. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it would be fine if you wanted that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I imagine it would do some kind of a warning sign. Yeah.
Thanks.
Are you welcome to stay in bed anytime now?
I'd love to.
New regular thing.
No.
I'm glad to see you again. That was a nice thing.
Yeah. Thank you. Next week.
Hey, what about?
It has been. How are you?
Good to see you, man.
You too.
How's your health?
Oh, good.
Hand?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's never
It's
good.
yeah, but it's
It's fine. You know, it bugs me a little, but
good.
it's not worse things.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So I have no idea what to expect with open mat. Should it be a t-shirt sweaty thing or is it all
Could be.
in?
Yeah, it depends on what you want to work on. So the only real thing for me is I don't want it to be, blood sport or anything controlled.
Never knew.
That yeah.
Hey,
So,
Dave.
but whatever you want to work on, and there might be other people here to help you work on it, or just solo practice. Probably can sneak in a question or two to me. But I think my plan is just to lifeguard and not teach.
Oh, yeah?
You know.
Okay. I'm happy
But
to
you're here
practice.
in a while, so we'll do some teaching later too.
Long
Dave,
time
I
no
like
see.
those
How are you?
pictures you're sending. That's really cool to see those pictures you're sending. How you feel?
Oh, good.
Yeah, good.
The town came down to the bottom of the hill, the dead end circle, and it started with the wood chipper and everything. I went down, I had a camera around my neck. And the guy's like, "Oh, what do you got there?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just blah, blah, blah." He takes out his phone, he starts showing me these beautiful pictures of the surf club and all this stuff. Turns out that, the town lug over there, it's Mark Feiner. He's all over he's all over all the local papers
Yeah.
and for contributions to photography. I just happened to catch him mulching up trees.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So he works for the town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Was it, who was trimming trees? Was it power company?
No, it's just a town thing. They come around trying to nail some of the dead wood so that
Oh, they're close to the roads.
what do you say? It doesn't fall on our heads while we're playing with our kids at the bottom of the circle.
Right.
My head.
That's why I don't play with kids.
Yeah. That's just to leave them be.
I know a few years ago they had they closed Westwoods. I forgot what the beetle or something was that it really
The ash borer.
was it
wreckage.
ash borer? Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, and they were like, you just can't go in, things will fall on your head. I'm like, it's the woods, that's always a possibility. Like, be attentive and
This was a very good week for me with this, unfortunately, with all this viral, because it forced me to examine why I choose to examine how somebody feels about it. It's all, don't do that. But it's all, oh, you're too worried. You're not worried enough. You're not prepared.
Yeah.
Why are you like this?
right.
And all of a sudden, like, okay, I'm repeating my political,
Yeah.
I'm repeating my familial, my growing up, my
Yeah.
neighbor. I like him and I respect his point. I don't like you so much, so probably you're wrong. And I'm
Bottom line is nobody knows
Yeah.
enough.
Right.
But that's my point, is in my realizing that is,
Yeah.
why did I assign who
Right.
does and who doesn't? Why would I even choose to do so?
Well, it really pays to pay attention to how many of your expressions
Pay attention.
are born of prior patterns
Oh,
rather than, a real assessment of the now,
I heard an interesting statistic on the radio yesterday. 2009, 2010, remember the swine flu?
sure.
60 million Americans got the swine flu.
H1N1.
300,000 Americans were hospitalized. 17,000 died. And a lot of kids died.
Yeah,
That's more people than have died globally
Mm.
from this so far.
right,
So why is this such a panic?
yeah,
And that wasn't, when that one was killing kids. And this-
sure, yeah.
I moved past that because
You know,
why did you pick that data set? Where did you get all those numbers from? It's probably during a
I've
political
heard it a couple
argument or
times.
something.
It was,
So that's why I stopped. The numbers are probably dead right, so.
yeah,
Who knows, yeah.
but the media.
But also, maybe you should have been more worried then, and we weren't,
Right.
so are we just
Yeah.
comparing?
And that's,
I
we're
don't know.
comparing, we're discerning, I think it is.
Yeah.
But it's reasonable to say, well, if that was killing so many more people, why wasn't it such a, maybe,
Yeah, yeah.
they
no.
talked about it some.
Who benefits from the pandemonium?
Yeah.
You know, and that's.
Yeah,
that's
it
just
might
the
be-
goal.
It's, you know, it is political,
Sure.
unfortunately.
So it's
But
nice.
we're not here to talk politics.
Yeah.
It's our free hour
When
of the
I
whole week.
was driving over here, it's the first step to becoming president again is to realize that you're not. Because I found spots like that.
That's the practice of mindfulness, yeah.
I tried to, but I was like, no, just look, all my senses are on the road, on my posture.
It looks like when you get to this, there's a little,
That
you
is
know, like your process of changing this angle has a little bit to do with your shoulder, which I'm guessing it ought not.
Left shoulder.
Yeah, yeah, like, you know, when I wanna change my fingers from vertical to horizontal, just to not put too fine a point on it, there's a little from here, which I expect it ought not quite do that. Just a bit, you know, it's not
Yeah.
egregious, but I figure
Well, I
I'm
had
looking
looked
at it. I figured I'm looking at it, it might be good feedback, you know.
Can I hit 2 more steps, too? Or half a step? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't be on the left end, I should be.
It's not a ranked, it's not a ranked class, perhaps.
I'm streaming your practice, so do your best.
You're streaming it?
Yeah. For people that can't be here,
Won't.
or won't, who knows? Are you right after a trip, or are you?
I haven't actually flown in like 2 weeks. I've
Yeah.
had some vacation, we've been busy doing a lot of
Yeah.
things. Tomorrow I go to London.
Oh,
You're allowed to?
Yeah, London's not a
You take a boat?
What's that?
Yeah, that was another, for another time. Why London?
The UK is, maybe because there's not the free travel there is to the rest of the European.
Yeah.
Union.
It would be cool though if they changed the rules once you're there, that you can't fly back, and you're like, that's right, I have the keys to the airplane, I'll just.
The keys
I'll
to
fly
the airplane.
yourself out, you know, no problem.
The keys to the airplane.
They can't literally
guess-
keep me out, I have the airplane.
Fred's coming back from Barcelona. His wife said he's a little wound up about this whole thing. And it was on the way, he was on the way to Barcelona and watched the president's
Right.
speech about all travel to Europe, which he didn't explain. That doesn't mean
Yeah,
if you're American you can still come
Right,
back. He didn't
right.
get into the details. So we're
Then
thinking,
that
oh,
was
Fred's
enough
gonna
for
hear
him to
that,
worry,
he's
yeah.
gonna freeze.
yeah.
Is he gonna get stuck in Barcelona? Which wouldn't be so bad.
No.
But
Yeah, Fred was like a little ready to be. worried.
Yeah.
So, and maybe where you can sue them, I've been working with them on some stuff. So,
okay. I'm not worried at all.
yeah, good for you.
In fact, I've stopped washing my hands in protest to the panic. No, I
That's
haven't.
funny. That's funny.
You've been developing a combat series that you wanted to reintroduce to classes?
Yeah, I was doing that Tuesday. Here's what you do if somebody coughs on you.
Expectorating expansion.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I'm interested. I remember you had an Art of the Entry series, I can never find the whole entire thing.
Yeah, I feel like that was a 2-part workshop. I wonder if it's 2
I remember
days.
the numbers.
I don't remember. But it was a 2-part. Maybe it was 2 halves and 1 day. Do you recall?
It was
Those
more
are
than,
two.
it was more than one.
Yeah.
I think it might have been more than 2.
What, 2 days or 2 sections? I don't remember.
Was it
I think it was 2 days. Like it was 1 week and then again the other week.
Yes.
Like 2 Saturdays or something. Yeah. Yeah.
The distance my hand should be here. A while ago I was practicing, and for some reason I ended up further out here. then I think
Yeah.
I should be.
No, that actually looks pretty good.
Okay, and it's showing,
Generally, people can get reasonably comfortable with their upper hand further, you know,
okay,
but then they're not really
okay,
in relation. So it's kind of determined by this. If I go too far, now your armpit closes.
mhm,
So, but I don't want it to be like here.
okay,
So usually people do more here. They're thinking of a circle, not a sphere.
okay.
So it generally, if you think more sphere,
Okay,
that three-dimensionality comes into
all
it.
right,
Yeah.
because when I went out.
And you
for-
might have been a little close, and then when you ended up further, it just felt
It
different.
felt better,
But
actually.
it's nice. It is
Yeah.
preferred, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if it said he'd make it to any of the open matter, or he'd try, or.
He said he probably couldn't.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Did you hear about his hand?
No.
He's throwing the frisbee to Ragnar, but Ragnar's right next to him, so he basically back-fisted Ragnar in the jaw. And he got a big, I think Ragnar's fine, but
Wow.
he had a big laceration.
Back fisted his teeth or something?
Yeah, so, yeah, probably.
I didn't hear that.
I think it was last week, because that seemed,
Yeah.
about a week ago.
Huh.
But it definitely adds like this 80-year-old guy who has far more adventures than me. They're always far cooler and more
I
involved
don't
and
know about
athletic.
that. He just probably expounds on it a little.
Yeah,
But he does, he's a pretty busy guy.
I'll be like making my coffee at 8 in the morning, and Ed'll like email me. I just got back from a hunting trip and stacking a cord of wood, so I was thinking,
Yeah.
oh, okay, all right, fine. You're a better person
He,
than me.
you know, you have to respect his
Yeah, his
work ethic.
his drive, his work ethic.
Yes. I could use a little more of that.
What do you have in the back of your truck? It looks like a lawnmower or something. Is it okay in the rain, whatever it is? It looks like some kind of machine.
I guess you're correct on really all those counts, you need me for that.
Okay. I just couldn't tell when it went
Yeah,
by.
yeah,
It
yeah.
seemed like a weird thing in the rain to see the pickup, so.
No, maybe a big fella, I grabbed a bigger neighbor and picked it up and put it in there last night for its annual tune-up.
Are you tuning it up or are you bringing
Bring
it?
it all, I'll bring it over to Killingworth.
Will they help you take it off? Yeah, if they won't, I can,
Lots of kids.
after class, I can go with you.
Very nice, if they do have kids there, young,
Oh, good.
healthy adults,
Okay.
to go ahead and screw themselves up with it. Not me.
So the left hand, it looks all fine, but
Mhm.
just since I'm watching. The left hand, which is what I'm using my right, I want it to come across like a handshake and fairly close to the body. Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, good. What are you gonna work on, Dave?
I'm just real slow, so should these spasms stay
Oh,
away.
really? Yeah.
And I have no idea what I'm working on. That's rude.
You could probably do some of the Tai Chi with Eric too.
I went cloud speed the other night. It was.
Oh, that was so
Awesome.
cool. That's what I was talking about, like you sent me messages and pictures.
I wanted to be better at it, but just
I
watch.
thought that was so great. I was really grateful that you let me know that and shared that with me.
It's something anybody can do.
Yeah.
So if you're going too fast, that'll take care of it.
Yeah, yeah. Probably Eric can't do it though, because he's going 680 miles an hour, so the clouds are like different speed for him.
It is cool when you're right on top of a cloud. Sometimes clouds are real, you can't really judge your speed, but when they're real sharp, sometimes you're like in a descent or something and you're, going 400 knots and it's just like for cruising by, it's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, because otherwise you don't have much speed reference.
Yeah, you really
right
don't.
there, yeah.
So it's, when it happens, it's nice.
Does the sort of the expected turbulence relative to the start of the cloud deck change with the types of clouds, or is there just a
Yes,
general?
definitely.
So try and stay
Cumulus.
200 feet away and you're probably okay, or something.
Well, I mean, most clouds you just go through, but if it's a, you know, a cumulus type cloud, you know, it's gonna be bumpy. If it's a
Right.
huge cumulus cloud, you avoid it. If it's
Right.
big enough to be a thunderstorm,
Thunderhead,
you
yeah.
avoid it by a lot. But, you
Yeah.
know, stratus and cirrus clouds aren't too bumpy.
Yeah.
So much turbulence. A lot of time, you know, when you get under the clouds, there'll be more turbulence. Not quite sure why that is, but
Yeah.
oftentimes.
You want a partner for that one, or?
I'm available.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is something you corrected me on a while ago, and for some reason I was sort of just putting my leg down as opposed to here, you know,
Completing
cross
the turn.
and then down.
So where you ended up, you're a little long and narrow.
Okay, I know. Alright.
So that's gonna be a little challenge to turn your other foot.
For some
I don't
reason-
remember the correction I gave you, but I'm thinking it would have been complete the turn.
I think that's what it was.
Then think about down, and then the down is gonna be sort of equal parts over and out, or over and forward,
For that.
to place that 45.
Right, which that's a little bit.
A lot of times people will just kind of start looking for the ground as they turn.
Mhm.
Often that just has to do with imbalance, like this is a tough
That's
balance,
mostly
so
what
I
it
need
is,
to get
yeah.
down. But for other people, it's more, let's call it lazy, like I kind of know this, and so I'm just
Mhm.
kind of coasting through it, and you sort of blend two things
Yeah,
too much.
which I actually was also.
So that could be.
I think it was a little bit of both. Not necessarily being aware of the fact that it was, should have been two.
Right,
So that feels about.
yeah, that's a better correction, yeah.
I learned this too about myself.
What's that?
Watching, you know, I thought I go slower in my practice. I like it, but I had to slow down further for what I was doing.
Clouds.
And I realized there's a whole part around from here to here that we don't even consider. Just, kind of down, I'm going to the next move to go, this isn't done, this isn't done.
Yeah,
this
did you
isn't
really
done.
complete
This
this?
is, yeah, like, well, what do I do? Do I extend it now? Or just falling? And there was so many unresolved little tiny pieces
Yeah.
just in this last 2% of movement. It was confusing. It was, I mean, everything.
Oh.
I know there's not much for words there, but it's, you know, here, okay, now we're usually
Right.
moving, no, there's still this. And it's not done.
Oh, I like that.
The totality was more apparent. And it does speak to perhaps rushing or achieving the finish of the form.
Were you doing with the clouds, kind of, were you moving this way and they were moving sort of like the same way? That's what I pictured.
Got it this way. I took the direction, I was,
So
you know, I was already going when I
unspooling-
noticed
They
them.
were unspooling over you kind of, and you're, because I just tried to visualize what it actually looked like.
Yeah. Well, we had a good cross. I was facing south, they were going east. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, all that. Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
But there was this place, you know, here in the form, I
Yeah.
sometimes find, okay, we're already changing.
Right, a lot of people will not finish
That's what I was doing.
and like just actually finish the exhale, even if there's a little pause before you do, that's all right. Just actually let that down, and then,
I didn't know where the down was. It was always when I'm ready to turn, that's how far down it is.
yeah, yeah.
It's not. It can be, but it's not. It's always something to get even in the middle.
Yeah.
Your carving out there is pretty cool, doing this thing.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Can you do that one? I just wonder if wherever your focus is, I forgot where you were, is it, the visual focus, you know, if you want to be nose on target or peripheral. If you're peripheral, it would allow you more rotation, perhaps more guard. And peripheral vision gives you more responsiveness to change as well compared to the foveal vision. But I don't know how that's supposed to be done, but it could be that like a little bit more turn or even this in front of the eye would allow, or I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
But it might be an interesting thing to consider, like the precise angle that upper arm travels, you know, and then the precise angle of the turn. What are the pros and cons of?
Yeah.
I mean, it's nitty gritty because you're entering and protecting and hitting. You know, it's fine.
Yeah, still, I like nitty gritty.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm trying to make it a minimal amount of movement,
Right.
but still provide protection against what I'm using it for.
Right.
So that in this particular application, it's against a.
Yeah, your right foot's not quite straight, Eric.
Yes,
Close.
yes.
Like, try and feel that. Don't just look and
As
correct.
soon as you
That's
started talking to me, I felt it. but
Where do you feel it? Where do you
I
feel it?
just could tell I wasn't straight.
Where do you feel it though?
I guess in my ankle.
So what I want you to do is feel it here.
Okay.
This is different than that. I mean, I don't mean
Okay.
don't also feel it in your ankle or proprioceptively, or like that's all fine. But that's what I was wanting you to
Okay.
feel. But
all right.
sorry.
No, thank you very much.
So the particular application is against a right lead uppercut.
Oh.
So this is to just kind of shear it away from my face and then allow for that driving elbow.
Let me do that again. Good. So this is something like that, right?
More
Oh, here.
that.
Okay. I was gonna say, and I'm sorry, I'm just wrong. If it was this, and this, where does that go? Yeah, here. Then I would
Yeah.
add down force,
Yeah.
and then that's another, depending on my range, like I have to get through that. You know, that's not just a different technique because I didn't know.
Yeah, but that may be a great idea anyway. Just because my intent is to catch it here
Right.
doesn't mean I
Yeah.
didn't fire too early.
Yeah, that's just what I thought, and I was just gonna add that because it might be interesting.
And this doesn't hurt
No,
anything, I don't think.
no, it just, if you stick your humerus out here and then add down force, right, we might be sort of tied because I'm just using
Sure.
my bicep, but I would be using, you did down force,
Yes.
like that's an uppercut, right?
Yeah.
And so you might get a whoop-de-doo surprise there, thinking that's it. So to be able to provide some downforce, and that may be why it's designed to be this, you know, parry kind of slice movement.
Push hands.
That's all it's
What
doing.
is it?
Do you play push hands?
But it's hard to,
I have a
it's
few
hard
things
to,
that I'd like to
get.
more, but
I'd,
no.
I'd like to.
It's hard to get
You like now, you mean?
Sure.
this
It is all
force.
right. We are slow and gentle
To
babies.
get,
Kind of shearing sideways.
Damn it.
yeah.
You know the secret, right?
No, I'm
That
just
doesn't
getting warm.
It's not ready to get moved laterally very
Yeah.
much. There's so much shoulder and chest and back, you know, and probably weight shift. It's a little hard to, if this is my uppercut, it's easier to go to it that way. You know, give it a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
out. Just a hint. So let's do this. That's my target.
Sure.
And just
Yeah,
have
that's a
the
good
instead
idea.
of here or here.
There's
or
two
here.
of us.
Just
Never
like
have
this.
that
Yeah,
opportunity, yeah.
Just Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
sure, exactly,
Yeah.
just basically trying to.
it's much harder,
Yeah, it's a matching
Targets.
stance. This is how we started,
Yes.
and then
it's much
we'll
harder
match up.
to get it to move that way,
Let's see how those
you
are.
know.
Yeah.
You would have mine here.
But it's nice to
and
stuff
yours.
it the same way that,
What are we missing here?
that I stuff in me,
Are you coming
Yeah.
across?
you know.
And then
Like,
we have our.
Apply my expression and my weight.
Are we doing it prescribed?
You start with it so that we don't go ready.
Smaller.
Okay.
compared to
Well,
here.
I guess we can start any way we
Because the
want.
leverage is in my favor when they're
Yeah.
extended, but
For there, we just, well, you put it's bound, keep
I
your
do
balance.
as
It's
I
always-
like I have pretty easy.
It's always
because-
from contact,
But
there's
that's
never
not the truth of this, and
Right.
that's always
separation. Those, I'm just showing the way I know, so we're
Yes.
doing the
So
same.
could I
So-
level like that?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. They're probably very effective.
Just for fun, I'll try that.
I probably would have caught that if you hadn't told me you were gonna do it. That wasn't gonna work for me. It's gonna be through the window now. Yes, excellent take. Oh,
Now I can hold on to you to not fall over, right?
you can. It's not always a
Well, you
question.
want not, I want to take a picture with your shit.
Is that awesome?
Yeah.
You want me to take it?
That should be alright. I gotta send it to my, I mean, you're pretty, but I won't make a mistake. It's like, how come I'm not here?
No, that's okay.
Well, my teachers always says he's the only in there, so I was like,
Hey,
I was just at his gym and
Yeah.
he's closing for a week as of,
oh yeah,
because he's got a lot of older guys. And he
yeah,
does
that's
a-
what
he
you were
does a
saying, you're the young guy
Parkinson's
there.
thing, too.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of young people, there's a lot of younger people to me. The
Right.
Grey Dogs, this is an old group.
Good.
He has everything from the young boxers,
I thought you were saying that in that group,
But
it's
our group is
mostly
older.
older, yeah, that's
but
what I
they also
thought.
do a Parkinson's thing there, which is really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Older guys, so. It's not hard not to use strength.
And he called my other thing, you know, why are you using your opponent to balance yourself? He's not there to help you.
Mm.
But he must. He must help me, I need the help.
Yeah, after you push a bit,
Yeah.
you might,
Yeah, he was gonna do that one thing.
after you push a bit, you might wanna try and show him these, so that you get a little practice explaining it and then also doing it.
I forgot the initial handshake here, I'm
I
trying
can
to
help
line
you
this
with
up.
it if you
Would
want, but like
Yes.
you're doing this
Yeah.
now, I'm just saying, you know, it'd be okay if Eric learned it, and it might be good for you to share it, and certainly in practice.
Let's see if I can teach it somewhat.
Oh, that's so pleasing.
This lead.
Just
Reach
never,
down and grab
I
your
don't know.
foot. Oh,
He's
okay.
He kind of, we try to keep everything for these practices between, you know, the low neck, above the waist,
Okay.
because this way you don't have accidents. Well, those are bad,
What level are you on now?
and that's about as hard as I'll try
Are
to
they
do.
levels?
You'll probably
5,
stop
6,
them.
7, 8 layers?
Yeah.
Or
That's
is that
what
levels?
it is.
It is levels.
Two, three, ten.
Oh, 3, 10, that's right.
Yeah,
I'm priming
I
4 to 10.
I do this because I can't keep up with the speedy, fast, long kids anymore. If I ever go, I'm not quite sure, but.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
fun, it's fun, yes.
And then I assume knitting.
So,
But it's like every time I go along, he falls on me, like this was not the time.
How's it going with the Meriden business?
You wanna try to do the foot forward?
Yeah.
Because we're about balance.
that's about how, that's how it normally would be anyway.
Lots of miniature nightmares.
We can do holds and stuff, we usually don't because it leads to oops.
Like in
Things
the
like that.
progress?
Yeah, we have no elbows, we have no use for them.
Road or
Physical guys. it's
partner
fun.
problems
Use
or just
that a little.
That,
walk
there,
along,
you got that.
wait for answers, look.
The largest problem I run into is dealing with
Those are,
my
those are
wife's
the
mom, who is working as a real estate
okay,
agent.
physical, we have
Who
to
is
get used to
it?
that. How are you?
Too much of it.
That's why we are.
It's streaming, so just.
Yeah, but it is good practice for a guy like you who wants to.
I know, but usually.
This is what you're getting because that's what we deal with. And
Right.
It's the hardest part of the practice is, can I use this with that, or am I just, whoa, got that, or I've got to try something else, so it's a very good practice for me. So
So
what
when
was,
you go back,
yeah, you got
She's coming from.
it. Yeah, so it's like, where can I, you know, if I sense that, and that's what this is all about, is the sensing. So if I make it obvious, then, you know, you should be sensing at that point that I'm gonna try to do what you did,
Right.
and you know what comes behind it.
So I'm trying to.
So when you do it and I miss it, I realize what my Tai Chi doesn't know, what my listening
And
hasn't
to me,
gotten
one of the
to.
things that's important if I'm negotiating leases between multiple people is that each one has precisely.
But did you
what I
come
want
to
you have
the
from
seminars
the
with the
person.
older folks?
No more.
No more, no less, right?
Push-
Yeah.
Getting pushed by 60-year-olds, and
So,
badly.
one of the first things
Yeah.
was
It's really,
How
not
old are you?
take a list of
52 in
questions
August.
I had,
You can-
rewrite
you can
them,
feel bad or
no
not.
longer
Well,
fit
I'm
sentences,
56.
and don't really mix.
Are you serious?
Ignore the ones that were articles, so they're done. And that's
I
just.
don't know what you're eating, but I want it.
The beer.
I drink more beer than most.
One of
I
the ones I
drink
drove
too much beer.
One place wants to
There's no such,
Yeah.
There's
yes.
no point in asking
There
questions.
is.
I became more of a beer snob because I don't drink as much as I used to. So
And ask
now,
me
like,
to
I only have
everything
2, 3, or 4 in the
so it's all
session,
in
maybe
one
5.
Yeah.
So I don't want to try 10 crappy beers and say, this is one I like. I'm gonna just get rid of those. They're like, I
Right.
thought you were a beer drinker.
Yeah, because I like to swill beer too, so I'm have like 3 or 4 stronger
all
ones.
these
or-
bizarre questions.
I have balanced,
This
I have
is-
balanced beers
Because
too.
it can only go through her.
I have
so
those too.
like you couldn't just direct email.
I think it's a mix.
I have those too. It's like, oh, we're gonna be silly.
Yeah.
There's lots of people, there's lots of games, bring Pilsners.
And she.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna sit by the fire and be idiots, bring IPAs.
Yeah. Guinness, because it's low alcohol and it's
So-
I really like.
I don't like the flavor of it, but I always appreciate it.
Rewrote it.
I always appreciate this. You know, I like stouts in general. Guinness is not one I
I'm
like.
sure
Probably
you-
3 hours with the
For real
source
composition,
and-
yeah.
and actually like by St. Martin's
Let's move away from that
Reference
just in case I get lucky and you don't.
This is gonna be,
That's
So,
good.
yeah, I have,
so she.
who is it, Murphy? Oh, I went to Counterweight in
Hampton.
Hampton. And
Back to him again.
I went to
Yeah.
Hampton for Counterweight. They make something called the Void
A very
Open
thorough
Stout.
version
Yeah.
and a very bizarre version.
It's for
Nice.
breakfast.
Where do you live?
I'm in Madison.
And you would
There's a
think
place in
you'd
Deep
fall
River
for
that
the
just opened,
to the
High Nine.
realtor.
My friend said subpar liquid, but really nice price.
I
But
thought
he's a
the beer
snob.
is delicious.
But.
Good.
worked
They
in
don't
favor, she
focus
does
just
it
on the
for
IPAs, I like a good
You
lager,
can't anymore.
which is about, because they went too much, just
So I
started
wrote
running
another
another
note that said, you know.
But I
future
think your
reference,
friend is incorrect, I think.
use the email.
It's all subjective. Yeah, 'cause you and I are gonna go and say, I love that one. I love hops. You're gonna, I didn't taste any. You know, we're gonna say, oh, there's too much coffee. You're gonna say, there's too much roast.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can describe terms that we all like to use.
The interaction, you'll have to try. and-
See, that was good. Yeah, you caught that one. That's why you don't use your opponent.
Like,
Yeah.
the expectation.
There's your answer for, you know, I hold on to the, can I hold
You
him?
should be doing.
It's like when I was reaching for you and you said,
Expect
no.
you to do.
That's
So
what happened to me.
some of that,
If
say,
you're using the opponent,
"Hey,
it's
I'm about to
just
send you
probably.
a
Your
note,
word.
Right.
and copy me, or whatever, like.
Yeah, see, that's from the back end. I run out of room here. If I had myself right, did it from there,
So it's
Yeah.
likely
we'd be better. So that's
when they
more
try
to the
to
balance
act
of things.
In
And
advance.
don't you think
of
like if
what's
you were
likely.
actually, say, in combat and you,
So
I might use
you're
that.
doing the most sensible thing.
I might want,
Outcome
okay,
is
he's throwing me that
to
from
use.
flying, I wanna go, I'll go that
Yeah.
way.
That-
and do
that might be
something else,
your
but that's
next
not what we're doing.
Exactly. You're only just practicing a different discipline. That's all. It's not to say that. That's why I think people are like, oh, that doesn't work. No, it does work. It's just something else other than what we're
Right.
doing. You know, where did this come from? Jerk, go away.
Yeah.
Who cares? It works.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but is it in Tai Chi? Maybe in a way. So if you,
And I offered him.
see, that's the one I want. I try to catch that. I try to catch that.
The way that I wrote it down.
Try to sit there and wait for it like a dum-dum.
Cause if I do that, and
Whether it's not this way or not, but. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. And then if I go for that and it's not there, I'm giving you.
yeah, we can do it on purpose, I'm telling you, we're gonna push
Yeah.
it, so, see what,
What
then-
our position
then you
is
can-
right
then you
now.
got me.
The other things
Yeah,
that
if I can get it. Otherwise, I'm over there, we're talking to those guys, rudely
Here's
interrupting
the
this
number.
conversation. What happened?
Require a build out.
I didn't get my move.
Or that will be on the
How
landlord
much do
or
you
on
weigh?
you, or some
250.
hybrid,
So
like just put
250.
the floor in
Yes, sir.
or whatever.
I offered.
But I have the, you and I probably have like the same size torso, and I have these baby legs, so I'm like this tall off the ground. And I've got a torso of like a 6'5" guy.
I also have relatively short
And I
legs.
included.
Did you do
Roughly
taekwondo?
what the build out.
Which-
what's your style?
Okay. So your kicks are middle of the body and down generally?
Yes, shorter is almost.
Because just looking at it, it's like, you know, it's extra work for
Cause I didn't, I came up here and
Yeah, but you increase the value.
this leg does not reach up there.
Yeah.
I tried.
It's good to be able to learn how to
Control
move and do
built out,
that.
because
You know, none of this
they
is
wanna do
bad.
everything
It's just
and
when you
done,
take
so
it,
that if you leave,
what you expect it to
you
do.
don't have to rebuild it out. This is still a good floor, white paint, you know, like.
Yep.
But they might not wanna do it, cause they
No,
can
that's-
get
that
you
was
to do it, especially if you can do it
That's
cheaper,
cheaper.
cause if you're doing
Or-
the work
Yeah, it's supposed to be
yourself,
listening to
not
you,
gonna be a
following
motivating
it.
factor. Whereas for you,
But that's, it's
I
called
don't
the
have
listening
much say.
energy. It's like if,
and we talked
I
about
close my
this,
eyes and I
okay,
feel
use this
something.
kind of lumber.
you know, what am I
You
gonna do?
know,
I'm not, it's not
It's
a
not
two-handed shovel.
particularly custom,
It's not
maybe
gonna
it's
work.
fine,
But-
and you customize it with fabric.
Instead of looking at you
and,
going,
you know,
there's that, he's
you know,
coming,
make it work.
see if I can feel for it.
Uh,
My teacher keeps doing it to me.
you know, I don't know if you've done that before, but that's how I see that.
I like the big elbows too,
Two
with the top.
comparison.
So now,
I see you have
I'm just waiting for.
An advantage in range on most people you'll play with, don't you?
I guess
You
probably.
can use it. Do you box? Yes, there's a reason.
I'm not expecting,
What's what the old man in
ridiculous. We're not-
our town told us, he's like, you know, boxing's been around for how many years? They even put rules to it years ago. Why do you think it's still
So we'll
here?
see how that goes.
Well, you guys counter off.
Good
the-
boxers, I'm not a good boxer.
What's
I
the
just
difference
do
between
boxing.
my offer
But those
and yours?
guys have to
Nothing
really
really,
slip and jab.
value.
I mean,
And,
you
you know,
can
make them
throw a punch
Thank you
in
for
the
life.
eye.
Thank you for life.
It's a martial art, it really
It
is.
is.
You know, or whatever.
Well, that's what the martial
You're getting
is.
that in writing.
Yeah. I am hoping this one fails.
Yeah.
There's another building I like a lot more.
Yeah.
My partner likes the aesthetics of this more expensive one better.
I don't have it to figure
Well,
out which way to move.
You might like the aesthetics of eating dinner regularly because you're well lower rent those 2 years.
Pretty much like.
You can
But
still
that's what
drive
it
by
just
the
is,
other
it's
place and
natural
see
to
it.
do that, it's natural to play that
You
way.
can
I
still
got
drive
some.
by the other
Yeah.
place and see
I'm
how
getting
pretty
very
it is, even every day of
And
the
then
week.
my little skill level,
Yeah.
about to get me off balance, so
Yeah,
it's
like,
like,
it
okay,
might be
well,
That's what we
less
forget
smarter
to
play,
play
as
an arm,
cheap as you can do.
that's what we're watching for.
Right.
But obviously, there's a lot of,
Mark,
you know,
guys are.
Things that go into the
like,
decision.
Mark, we're doing something else.
Well, largely what you
Oh,
call
yeah.
is keep brick walls.
Yeah.
That we're gonna cover
Does
with
the same
other
thing all
walls
the time.
because we
Come
need
in,
individual
He
rooms.
locks that up, starts to turn,
It's got, the building is beautiful
squeezes
bones,
that,
but
squeezes that in.
once you build it
See, that
up.
And this starts
my
really.
elbow is
impossible
shot.
to have the exposed brick on how
It will be if you play like that.
Yeah,
Guys,
It's
that's
like a cubicle, but
But you sit here.
divider, divider things that.
That's not what
No,
we're
no, no,
doing
Here's
here.
the brick wall, there's a room.
Yeah.
But it also teaches you something.
You guys
It does.
Don't give somebody that.
That's true. But that would probably really piss me off.
Yeah.
Great.
It does, you know,
But
that's why,
because we need
you know,
individual
when I'm
rooms,
asked to
it
teach
will not
someone to
be
play
individual
something with somebody,
space.
Sure.
It'll be-
I try to make sure we're playing the same game because it's pretty easy
Right.
Right.
to say, how do I win? I wanna win.
I think she's really caught up with.
Right.
Because
Because
you've
you've
got
got
it, you
it.
know.
And she's not gonna build buildings.
And you're like,
See
well,
what we have to
now,
do with.
I have to learn that, because you're gonna be like, I have other ways to win.
Right, so that's not what we're doing.
What are we playing? It's, and that's the spirit of the game, you can play.
You're in this chair, I'm in this.
And I
chair.
think that your skill level can
Or
also be
whatever.
low.
But then there's a
You don't want
room
to
that has 4 chairs or whatever.
Yeah, and this is what it's
Like a
teaching you
way
about in
To
life
service that, whether it's
and in combat.
what do you
Those
call
who
it, riding
overreach
bar,
are
yeah,
all fouls. You know, you're no
As
longer
opposed to
in
waiting
control
in
of your
line.
own destiny.
We're all
You
doing
need
it,
somebody to
she's
stand up
waiting 2 hours in line.
because you overreached.
I don't know.
It's like emotional.
There's two ways to do
It's
that.
like, well,
One is
what's that
have a
person
wide
doing?
open space
I'm solving their
shop where it's
problem
just-
for them. No, no.
We would take this room,
Right.
set up a chair
We
there.
stay
and
here,
there,
or
and
if
we're all
something
sitting
comes
around.
in, we welcome it, we balance it,
In that, and
and we go from
do
there.
not like
If our
it.
combat is like this,
The other way is
more
build your
personal
relationships
relationships.
larger.
I think I'm
It's
touching
not like a
you.
room.
That's true.
Can
The way you
comfortably fit two
do
chairs.
things physically mirrors.
Well, that's what I was thinking, if you had a,
That's how I should have said.
Temporary
You learn, everybody learns.
you could
Yeah.
on occasion,
Yes,
say,
it's
oh,
just crap and-
might be 6 people coming in,
How did you
let's
do it?
move the thing and.
And then I realized, oh,
It's
yeah.
not normal for everybody.
years.
I don't know.
That works.
It is.
If you have a big open room, you
Well, don't
have
let it- this
possibility
is-
for
Well,
spirit.
no, he actually is not,
Which
because
you might not wanna,
he doesn't
take advantage of,
how much
but-
better he is.
No, it's like just sitting
considering
under a bush.
before you can't, that's all.
But
Yeah.
it's
Good job, Eric.
we were just talking about the drawing grants and how why we don't do them. But not that they don't work,
Why don't we do them?
because we're playing Tai Chi. Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're not boxing, there are no
Yeah.
contacts.
So,
we
so,
see-
um,
all you can see, nothing.
so often, we push for 20%. Often, the rule will be, I say often because everybody's got their own rule sets, often the rule is that I can do a grab for the duration of the technique. And that didn't work, like Dave stayed where he was, but I didn't,
Okay.
and then, lock him out or something.
Mark,
So, as we're going, if I have this grab for the duration of that technique, that's reasonable.
Okay.
But you're two guys without a referee, so you gotta decide together what's reasonable, and if you're both into that, let's practice with that type of thing. Sometimes grab is only single-handed for the duration of the technique, there's no double. Generally, the reason for no double is that if you cross a joint, double
Yeah.
can risk the joint, especially if it's competition, because everything speeds up, gets heightened,
Right.
and, but maybe here, kind of playing this way, like, that's fine, let's do two. So as long as you're clear on what the expectations are, how you want to play, it could be done. I generally will advise no grabs, because that shifts our focus, like you're saying,
Yeah.
to soft and listen.
Okay.
And,
That was one of the, I haven't been grabbing a lot.
No,
It's
no,
one of the two, because
watch
neither one
my
of us cares who wins.
Right, right.
So we're screwing around and I do one of these, even though I know
Yeah.
that's not what it's about.
Oh, just
And
try
it's-
it a little, yeah.
So, but it's, I know he's not gonna get
And I work on
He
my,
does the
Right,
same,
right,
and it's,
right.
so it's fun, you can have a
Yeah.
little fun.
Sure, but when you're doing something like that, so that, I think a relatively rapid hit is what he was doing.
A rapid
Yeah,
push.
right, yeah, right. But it's a hit. We heard it.
Oh, actually, okay.
You're thinking push, but the arrival is a hit, and the intention is a push. This is a push, and then push. If we hear it, if there's concussive contact, it's what's called dashao, it's a hit, followed by, well, I'm gonna knock him over.
I don't know
Again,
if I did hit that.
No, I'm just saying,
Okay.
that's okay, if everybody's okay. and-
we agree to it, that's
But
what
again,
I said.
generally, I'm not gonna ask them to do that first, I want them to learn to be soft, listen, and
Right.
read, that's the whole emphasis. Now, the thing is, if he does that hit, kind of, right, and that's what he's working on, or maybe that's just occasional, so no problem. But if I get a little excited about trying to solve it, let's go slowly. I might scratch a cornea because I'm not willing to just, well, he got me. I'm now thinking I gotta try and solve this, and a lot of people with that, they'll come up,
Mhm.
and then,
Sure.
it could just bite my tongue, break a tooth, scratch the eye.
Sure.
So, that's the concern that I have. It isn't so much that I think you're gonna hurt each other there. I don't think I'm pushing him enough to send him into the window. But sometimes, after we do it a bit, he gets him into his head, I think I have a solution. But then because I'm going fast, his solution is fast, and then fingers come into eyes.
Sure,
So if he's not gonna do that and you're doing it, then you're still playing safe.
okay.
But that's another measure to
I
take,
understand, you get it, and also I should do what I'm bad at, which is not doing that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
no. But
Yeah, I should.
I don't want to take away from the, but it's fun and that's engaging and sweaty. That's a good thing too. I don't want to just say never do it, but I want to say that what you were saying, neither of us cares who wins. That bodes well for if you get him a few times with that, he's probably not going to this time, and then somebody's eye gets poked because he's not really caring who wins. So probably like another one, Eric. All right, let's
Mhm.
and that's good. But that's the read you'd want to have. Is he starting to care that you got him 4 times in a row, and maybe he gets himself in trouble just trying to do well.
Well, that's what I offered him, I said, that's fine, because I obviously couldn't find a defense or a play with it, so
Right.
I guess keep doing it, because I can use the work on it.
Yeah.
So I guess it would lead to me trying, and maybe those accidents as I'm trying to figure things out, but
Right.
it was never in the
I'll show you one that you can play with.
Yeah.
So as you, we'll just do it slow-mo, but as you push them, receiving and turning, so this is coming offline, right? So I want to protect because this might pop up here, and then I'm going to just reach to the epaulette here. So again, if we look at this, Eric, I'm basically doing this, not far off. So Dave will try and push it a little bit more as we go, so it's kind of see if it can work. But yeah, I didn't use a heavy kick stepping.
I stay here.
since my hands are not relating to his face, and I have this guard hand that is helping to keep either one of these from coming up to my face. It doesn't prevent perfectly, right? It's still martial arts. But this puts me into a position to address him. So I'm going to my rear leg, and my rear hand is covering. And then I basically have this kind of spearing energy just to the epaulette here. And if I get a little further, I'm not trying to go that reach. You probably feel like your left elbow can push me now towards Eric.
No,
You like it?
no, not much.
You know,
I was overextended.
yeah, because I had overreached. So I'm not going too far. This feels good, like I can challenge in there. So if you get that far and you want to work on like a little, how do I address that? You can play with that.
I guess when we went right to here's fast, there wasn't any time to
Right.
shift, settle, turn, reach, so I guess we weren't gonna
Right,
practice.
that's true, yeah.
We weren't gonna practice
And
anything
you
that
would
way.
practice that slow, and it could be done fast. Just
Yeah.
you know, he pushes, and then it's fine.
Probably want a higher ranking skill than what I would offer there. Usually like wait.
I like how you said higher as in elevation, higher ranking skill. But I thought I was hearing you say higher
To the back
like
leg, across.
employment, higher a ranking skill. Like
And don't
whenever
say
you do that to me, I
because
just
it's
hire
actually
my friend
not
to
moving roots.
solve it.
It's rotation, it's extension, you stand under tiptoes. You're
Yeah.
not gonna do that to offer this. This is still within your
How's it
form.
run?
Use things in your form the way you would.
See him?
No.
Does that feel like your form? Doesn't look like it. If that's
I
happening,
guess I
it's
should reach out to him and see.
Yeah, and I don't have a running example either, but if you wanna try. Yeah, I'm trying not to stand up.
Yeah.
He seems
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty on top.
I've spoken to him.
But I can't, I have nowhere else to go now. I'm at the end of my push. That's why I stepped closer to you, actually.
Oh, cool.
I mean, the first part,
That's pretty cool.
see, now you see, did you feel more level?
Right?
Yeah.
You should be feeling for that, that's Tai Chi push hands, you should be feeling any
That
time
is
somebody's. You should
Yeah.
know now which way is easiest to push me.
Yeah.
Looking at my feet, looking at my back.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
like
so, you know,
this.
coming this way would not.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, you could go over past your feet's probably good, this way is
I'm
not.
gonna run inside, so get ready for a day's class.
And lozenge,
Yeah. It's too deep. It doesn't feel.
so this is when you come to push hands class, these lessons start to work like this, broken in steps. The first thing we did was shift. The second thing we did was shift, turn, and this third thing we did was shift, turn, extend.
Okay.
The settling is the most important part, because you did the knife class, right? Did you do some
Some
of
of
it? Okay. Yeah, it's the settling, the structure, the stance. This looks like what he asked me to do,
Right.
but you can clearly tell it isn't.
Right.
This is more like what you would say, I think he's ready to defend himself. So it gets taught in these pieces like that, instead of, having fun like we like to do.
Right. Yeah, no, that's good. So.
So your first step, this, we would go up and down the line if need be, but the first thing we'd do would be get the shift back. And you would tell me as a partner, that's too much push. I'm not settling back right, let me get myself
That's
together.
definitely as far as I could go.
Okay, well, that, I need to know that, and I can back up.
Just because well, yeah, but that's,
Yeah, 'cause, well, okay, I'm gonna give you, I just want you to shift. It can't be done.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but what could happen from here is, what'd you say before, run out of push?
Yeah.
Now we're at the perfect distance for you to practice that.
Mhm.
So there's gonna be a 3-stage in what he taught, there would be that one, or you already got rid of it. You would rotate away, now I'm off the line. And the third thing, without standing up, without losing your structure, your stance, your posture, all those things you practice in your form, you may now exile. How do you feel? Do you feel martial, or are you like, are you depending on me to stand here?
I don't feel like I'm depending on you.
Okay, you're ready. If you balanced, got ready, you don't care what I do, you're ready, then you're probably in a good posture. Or could be.
Yeah. Doesn't.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm in a good posture balance-wise, but I know that that's instantly, completely interruptible right now.
Right, but I don't feel like I've got you either, that's for sure. But I feel better than I did when you were pushing me.
Well, that's the thing, don't forget, let's see who started this thing, it was me. I was the guy who tried to take yours, you took me away, and you may have a response, and you may not.
Now,
Does it?
can you turn your, like in that case, when you push me, I turned my foot.
You open?
Is that's okay, or is that?
It might not be for this application, I don't know enough to say, but maybe I can try, let me see how I do it. Okay, so that's back, so let's start here.
It just gave me a little more room to,
Good.
before I lost
If
balance.
you're using it as a substitute to lose your balance, and I'll show you, that might not be the thing to do. You know, if you've already taken your place and you wanna do it this way, that sounds better. You know, but like we did before, we went to, oh, I think I figured it out, I wound it out to here. It's probably best to start with what you're working with.
Yeah.
And then, oh, can we open? Oh, can we switch hands? I would try it that way.
Sure,
That's
that makes
what I
sense, all right.
Makes sense. Must be Friday morning. So the first thing is to shift away. And the second time will be shift with your rotation. Settling down into your stance low, because the guy who's rising is easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
That applies to all of us, unfortunately. Yep, so you got your shift, settling into your back leg, because,
Yeah.
but you asked about options too. When you're on your back leg, everything is free to go.
That's true.
So that's also a reminder of where are you in your form. You're not on your front leg.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's true. So the next thing would be shifting.
yeah. And you saw the martial aspect with which it was applied. That's probably for after we do it a few thousand
Yeah.
times. You feel good, like I'm not going to take out his chin with
That
my
is
elbow.
really
Yeah. But it also depends on you being rooted in the right place.
Right.
You're not going to kick anybody from here with anything. You know, it's,
Mhm.
you have
That's
to.
true.
You have to adjust. It has to be that
Right.
second capture. There, we'll try it on the other side. Ballsy side. Your shift, your rotation. That's good. And now you're
Yeah,
this one's
that's
going that way. And that's your guard hand in case we screw this technique up. Because we're not fighting, we're practicing techniques. So that is the I'm taking care of my face in case you screw up. That's good. And you also look like I can go where I want from here.
Yeah.
Do this part, run past you, you like, you have this pass, you can now do the thing with the elbow, you're rotating away, you probably saw these in your forms this way,
Mm-hmm.
this way,
All right.
carrying things,
Yeah. So you have a lesson now?
Hmm?
You have a lesson at
I
11:30?
do, yeah.
We've got one at 12:30, so cool.
Was that right? Are you doing with Ed?
Yeah.
Awesome. I like the way it comes in. So let's try our push hands play again,
All right.
in our same spirit of,
Maybe we should get away from Colin.
everyone wants to get rid of him. And he pretends he doesn't hear you.
Guys needs to not talk so much.
It's impressive. Then also the mentality of all this is that when we get into a contest or the idea of winning, we start grabbing our hands, take what we want,
Mm-hmm.
and our posture rises, which is unrooting, the opposite of the art which you train. And after that, put it up for 1 second. I'm gonna get it.
Don't push you too hard, man.
Nope. I want to feel that, and that's why I train. I want to see if I can go with you. Make you
You're an hour early.
you guys can join me. I'm certainly more than happy to share my space with you. Good. And those are the parts where when we try to win, like this, if you do that and you start to push like, this is where accidents happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, it's not you don't want to lose, but there is a part of you that says, I don't want to fall.
Goes fast.
Yeah, like, oh, I got a solution. But we try to honor that with it's a little too late for this type of
Okay.
exercise, you know.
Okay.
In free form, take what you get. And you should find, how long have you been doing the form?
It's been a couple of years. I mean, I'm only we're 2/3 of the way through it.
You should find that a lot of things you do
See, I can't help it.
are in
I
the
didn't
form.
think about it.
Everything. And I asked, do you,
Hey,
who's,
you're an hour early for
One
class.
minute,
Our lesson's at 12:30.
Oh, 12:30.
Yeah.
I'll take it 11:30, I'm here for that, I'll share.
I'm going back then.
All right.
I was at a meeting last night, a woman had a sore throat, but the doctor said she didn't have a fever, but maybe I'm a carrier now. We're gonna cancel,
Probably not.
we're gonna cancel, close the school.
I just came from the boxing gym, he's closing it for a week too, because he's got a lot of older guys that have Parkinson's, that's one of the things they do.
Yeah, well, I worry
So-
about just my age.
Yeah.
I thought we were 11:30 as well.
You can stay for that, I'm happy to share, that's no problem. You're here now, you don't have to change, stay, enjoy.
It was 12:30, I'm pretty sure.
You sure?
So I am, if it's cool with Steve, I'd be
Well,
honored.
you 11:30.
Yeah, yes, he is on
Yeah.
11:30.
Oh, we've all been playing here for an hour, I'm sure there's something we can all do, it'll be much fun.
I might run home too real quick.
I'll get the secrets on you too, I'll get the dope on you two, low down, and then you come back, and I'm going, yeah, hey, yo. Ah. Yeah, so I asked him, like, when can you do this stuff fast? He said, can you do it slow? Never mind. And these are the, you know, the shapes we make, these shapes?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is to learn that when these shapes are pushed,
Yeah,
we don't do that. We
Right.
probably learned
they're
to
strong.
keep the space, the expansion between
Yeah.
us. So when you find that somebody keeps pushing your hand in, it's time for you to rotate, you know, in one direction or another.
To make that shape strong.
Perhaps that, or if it's in your form this way, and just a little back. But yeah, it's hard if you do this as combat, like where's the Tai Chi? The
That's true.
form and all the things you're working on do not change in
Right.
what we're doing.
If you were like super advanced, you could do it.
That's how the super advanced seems to be the basics done correctly,
Yes.
I don't do.
That was one of my, when I used to take karate, my instructor, that was great. He said, people ask me about advanced technique. Advanced technique is basic technique done well,
I like it, I'll go with that.
which is true.
So my first reaction was to, he's pushing, I push back, and then it's like, maybe he can have his push. Because yeah, shoulder strike, yes. That's there, and you're in the stance to use it. However, if you do that on
Yeah,
balance,
that's not a good,
that's why it's a very short motion. It's not the, like we play football.
you don't,
hockey.
you
You're
don't
not,
stay there.
yeah, you're not playing hockey, but from here, if you would shot, you know, from here, that should work very nicely.
And then
Yeah, but they also remember no leaning on your opponent, because that's what happens. So the distance of those strikes, you have hands for that, you have elbows for that. You're not gonna reach with your shoulder,
no.
as far as I know.
Is it 11:30?
Close to it, I imagine. Let's see, maybe we can do a quick check here.
I'm gonna run home for a few minutes.
do that.
Out of here.
Should have a cover.
11:30 on the dot, how about that?
All right.
Your timing is good.
All right.
Nice work.
Hey,
Can
have
you
a
come
great
back if
class.
you can?
Yeah, see you in an hour.
Much fun. Ah, I had a nasty week back spasms 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
from
that was
the-
a drag.
I don't fly very often. I heard you talking about flying.
Oh, is that?
Because they see you get these little coach things, I'm sitting here like this, I'm like, I'm just waiting for my back to just be sciatic. I mean, even as a passenger, I'm going pilot.
Hey, what kind of chainsaws do you have?
Steel, S-T-I-H-L.
Because I had a Steel 310 for years and years, and I liked it. I ended up wrecking it. The guy at the hardware store talked me into this, and I really liked it up until now. A Husqvarna
Yep.
Ranger 460.
That's a big one, I know exactly what it
It's
is.
been great. It's cutting the other day, and it kept bogging down and quitting. And I
How
saw-
long have you had it?
It's like 2 years maybe.
You check the air filter and the fuel
Air
lines and all that
filters.
stuff?
Air filter's fine. I haven't used it a ton, but anyway, it might have been the gas. So I put fresh gas in it, but
Good luck. Well, you know, for $45, I'll go through it over there, and if it needs parts, they'll add it on.
yeah.
They've always taken care of me over the years, I'm in the way when it comes to getting the value.
Okay. And then there was a guy there, another tree guy who had a bunch of huskies, and he said that he just thinks in the last couple of years that degraded, but who knows?
Well, a lot of them did, and that's why some of the dealers said, look, we're not gonna sell them anymore, we're a step above Home Depot and people pay us for it. So either get us a product that works or we're not selling it, so, everybody's got something to lose. I think they've addressed it.
Good.
You will be that's a big saw.
Yeah, I'm cutting, there's this wood down on Emmanuel Church Road, I've gotten several cords lately. It's beautiful white oak, it's like this thick, I can't cut through it with one thing. It is real heavy, I can cut it and just get it on end, and I hand split everything, but it hand splits well, that white oak. It makes me look like Hercules, but because you can have a little thing that doesn't split at all.
I showed
This
you
stuff
kids
is, it's really, but it's perfect, it's like a mile from my house, it splits, it's ideal.
I tore out all those reeds and weeds in front of Green Hill Martial Arts.
Yeah.
When you come up from the circle, all the right-hand side,
Oh,
I went through that, tore all of those out last spring when they started up. Every single one of
I
them.
must have
I'm
been.
like, kingdom for a chainsaw though.
Huh.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I was like, this is my service to Master Ed, and you're taking me even further. And I'm just thinking, I need a saw.
Wow.
It should happen. That's when I bought a husky a month after that. I'm sorry, steel. A month
But
after
you're a
that.
professional tree guy, right?
No, that's Josh. We trained with one in the
Oh.
push hands class. Yeah.
What do you do, that landscaping?
No, I'm just, I have a house with an acre of land, and that's what we do to keep it focused out.
Okay.
Nothing more special than that, sir.
All right.
Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, maybe see you in an hour. Take care, Colin.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
I want to say that those low kicks you were throwing were things I used to see some of the snappier guys in the Kenpo classes throwing back in the day. Just the turn of the hip, rotate, the snap. I want to say. I might be dead wrong. You see, Ed was just here
For
class.
misunderstanding the time, maybe?
Well, they changed a week ago.
What changed?
The time.